Down by the river, the Mississippi River dry, there lives a boy who rides boats that pass at night, and he hears the sounds of engines, sounds that passing by. Down by the riverside, steamboats passing by. Whoa, down by the riverside. Whoa, down by the riverside. Whoa, down by the riverside. Yeah, 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 yeah. Down by the riverside. Yeah. As the cold winds blow and summer fades away, things are always changing. Life's meant to be this way, and the voice I'm hearing is calling out tonight. So now I say goodbye to your lies. I don't need nothing. I don't wanna be a fool. I don't need your loving. All I want is to be alone from you. Now I can't You're pushing harder now, you pay-per-view. Come on, honey, let my eyes see you. Hot lights front row tonight. We're gonna give it on tonight, yeah. We're gonna shake it up. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw her crawling on her hands and knees. She made her money saying, please, baby, please, from bar to bar.
Mother Earth Radio rocks inside the disc, and this one is going to be probably one of my personal favorites. It's not every day that, you know, coming from the era that I did, and I'm old school, man. I'm going to have to just graciously welcome Jerry Caprice and John Chrissy of no other than King's Harem. How you guys doing, man? Are we all together? Are we all together now?
Thank you.
Oh, we made it through the patch-in thing, huh?
Yeah, but I think Jerry just lost it.
Jerry, you there?
I am here. Thank you, Lon.
Okay, all right.
Oh, no doubt. It's a pleasure to be on, and I want to say hello to all the fans in Texas. And I've always appreciated Texas barbecue, music. The whole genre is just rock and roll at its purest, you know. And
Mother Earth Radio rocks inside the disc, and we're going very deep inside the disc. In fact, into the heart of Uncle Lair here, because it's not often that I, get music in to share with you guys. And we're talking King's Harem. You've heard them here. Shake it up. Let's check in right now with Jerry Caprice and John Priss of King's Harem, man. Hey, it's great to have you here, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Lawrence. It's awesome, bro. Awesome.
Hey, man.
Where do you want to start?
Oh, man, go
First
for it,
off,
man.
John,
Okay.
John and Lawrence, I just want to give a shout out to Texas, the Texas Jam. Going back to Tech Music and all those fans, they got me rocking, they got me rolling. The station sweeping the nation. Texas barbecue, baby. You know what I'm saying? It is ridiculous. The music, the scene, everybody's down to earth. It's rock and roll at its purest, and we're hard rock, coming at you. King's Harem style, NYC. Texas barbecue style.
It's Wango y Tango, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Wang Dang Sweet Poo Tang.
Thank you very much. You're right.
To start the program here, I don't mean to date myself. You guys, you sent me the music. I had to get on YouTube later and share some things with my wife. And she had never heard bands. Oh, gosh. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but vocal styles.
Yes,
You know who comes to mind? Rick Emmett. You ever heard of Rick Emmett?
sure
What
have.
some Triumph.
Especially down by the riverside.
Yeah,
Wow, really? Yeah, that's
yeah, oh
a
yeah.
great comparison. Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I'm totally to the bone. Tore the Coliseum down here in Corpus Christi, but I seen them like 6 times, I believe. There, one time with UFO. That will date you in and of itself.
Yeah,
Rock bottom, baby.
I've never seen him, but I definitely listen to Triumph's music. It's fantastic.
Well, I know you guys aren't as old as I am. I'm way up there, but how did you get into this style? It's not played these days, you know?
When you find something that is your niche, like you don't change. It's like, I don't know if you ever watched like the Glenn Miller story. If you ever watched the documentary on Glenn Miller, he's a big band guy. What he was looking for was his sound. And when he found it, he would know it, and he would stick to it. Well, it turned out to be a blend of certain instruments, and he stumbled upon it by accident. Well, the sound that we have is it's not by accident. To keep it, there are certain ways to keep it. It's done in the recording, and it's done by the instruments we use. And I went through a number of amps, and it's certainly, rock, the guitar is going to be like the meat and potatoes. And my sound comes from a blend of 2 different amplifiers, an orange amplifier, all British, and a high watt amplifier, all British, right? High watt was used by The Who, and the orange amps were used by Led Zeppelin. When I blended these 2 together with the rack, that I use, it's like, oh my God, I have a unique sound. Now, it may, but of course, there's a lot of guitar players that have that edge, that crunch. Certainly Van Halen. When you hear the young Van Halen, he was using Marshall, but he had his own sound. So the amplification was really important. Jerry's bass, he'll tell you, was we had in the studio and a couple of live shows, we would use the vintage SVTs, right, Jerry?
Right, it's
Ampeg.
Ampeg SVT, I think it was a 1969 head, and the cabinet, 10 8-inch speakers.
8-inch
same type. Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. It gives you that classic, but any type of sound that you really want.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the blend of those two sounds, and of course
we stuck with it.
Yeah, we stuck with that, and then when you add powerful, amazing studio drums of Johnny O, who just is an incredible musician, and then you have incredible voice of Ruben Gomez, who has such a range and powerful voice. I think I would have to say he's one of the best rock singers that I've ever heard.
We've pushed him, but we've yet to push him because, I mean, there are more songs coming out. When he's on stage, it's nuts. And our band was really born on stage. We're a bar band, and that's where we came from. That's where our influences come from, you know, in the trenches of the bars. Influences the songs, theme that runs throughout King's Harem sound, and we tailor the sound to each other. And that's how, you know, we keep the sound together. It's definitely along those lines. And of course, when we record the songs that you have now, Lawrence, was in a big room. And one of the tricks, now here's the trick that we did, okay? So you want some secrets. This is the King's Harem secret. I'm going to tell you right now on how we got that 80s sound. We're doing it on our own. We're paying for it on our own. There was a little bit of a shoestring budget, but not that much. So we recorded in a studio that had a Nees board. If you want any musicians out there recording, guys know Nees is the top of the line, number one in the analog realm of boards. So we recorded analog on 16 tracks. We didn't need to go 24 tracks because we knew what we were going to do. We went to 16 tracks, then we bumped that to digital, which allowed us to take what we recorded back home with us and to finish it and polish it with Pro Tools. From there, we were able to take our time without having to pay like the $200, $300 an hour fee and finish it ourselves. So we produced it ourselves, recorded it, and then did the final product that way, and then mastered it, and and released it, and there you have it. When a band is able to follow it, from start to finish, you're able to keep it the way you want to keep it and not sell out. And nothing wrong with the high priced producers. They know what they're doing, but we're not selling rock and roll, and it's our rock and roll. And if we're going to do it the way we wanted to do it, well, it worked out well. We as seamless as we were on stage, it went very smooth in the studio. We had only about maybe 2 takes per song, and we played it live, for the bed tracks. And so when you hear that, you're hearing King's Harem live, and then we're just filling the rest in with I'll put in a guitar lead or an old vocal overdubs and things like that. But for the most part, it was like, the old-fashioned way, the way like the Beatles would have done it. Play it live, and let's see what we got.
Yeah,
or like that Muscle Shoals.
Yeah.
Sounds like to me, actually, guys,
they room like that.
Sounds like to me, you guys have earned your way. Because you got to fight for the right to party, man. And I think we got to shake it up right now, man. You got anything to say while we kick this song out?
This song is definitely dedicated to all the fans out there that have seen us live from New York, Pennsylvania, Boston, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, and all the Central American fans of Rubens, and all the rock fans of California, Texas, where our fan clubs all spread out, Sacramento. It's all for you.
You're talking over the song now, man.
Yeah.
Let's go. Shaking it up, man, on Inside the Disc with Jerry Caprice and John Chrissy of King's Harem.
King's Harem.
opening? Who you opening up for?
No one right now. We're not playing. We're still recording. We got to get this EP out that we have. So it's we're just like all split up right now. The keyboard player John Seaput is in Sherman Oaks, California. He's back home, and the rest of us are on the East Coast, just chilling. We're getting ready for Labor Day weekend. We're all going to hang out with our honeys, and and chill. And so that's what we're doing. And the one who's working right now is Ruben, because he's got to finish up his vocals on the last song, "Lost Without You." We don't want to do anything until that thing is finished, because that's the main priority. And then we'll just take it from there. We're hooking up with a record company in the city. They're called Factory Fast Records. They've been really nice to us, and I think we may be working something special with them. And we're going to take it from there as far as that goes for promotional push. And they got a great roster of bands, and as well as the guys that we know all the the Trickster Boys and all the guys from the '80s and management, not the management, the booking agents. So I think once we get this product back out on the sale charts, we're probably going to start maybe hooking up with them, like with opening with Firehouse, Trickster, from Warrant, which we used to play with. What's the one in what Jerry? What's the name of the guy in Washington? Oh, Brett Michaels. Probably.
Are you ready for Poison?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
And so we'll weasel.
What about Ted Foley, your old pal?
Yeah. Oh, sure. From Danger. I think he's in England right now. Doing some.
Is he having a stay with the Queen?
Say that again, Jerry.
Was he having a stay with the Queen?
I don't know. He's in London. I don't know.
I don't know what you guys done though. Actually, me and my beautiful wife, we kick back and we've been listening lately. I like to just turn her on to songs. That maybe her ex-husband was a big country producer. He produced a lot of and some movies actually, but she was all into the country thing at that point in my life,
Yeah.
Skid Row the other night, 18 in Life, Poison, Triumph. And speaking of Triumph, Rick Emmett and your guy that sings for you, Ruben Gomez, right?
Yes. Bridges or during the verse or chorus or something, underneath you'll hear the edge guitar come in and rock it, and that sort of satisfies the taste buds of one audience while satisfying the taste buds of another audience, merging them together. So I have heard that.
It's a musical Snicker bar, man. It just satisfies that urge,
Yeah.
Throw them a Snicker here and there, man. They'll like our music. Oh, man. Are you there, Jerry? You still with us? Did we lose Jerry?
I hope not.
Oh,
Jared.
He'll be back with us.
Yes, they'll call you.
Right now, speaking of Ruben Gomez, the song "Down by the Riverside," that rings out as one of my favorites on the disc.
Yeah.
Who wrote that?
I wrote it.
Did you really?
I did. I wrote the lyrics and the music, and I went camping this one weekend, and I brought my guitar with me. Just to hang out, you just bring it. I didn't know it was coming, and I was by a rock, by one of those streams that go through a state park, and I don't know, it just sort of it's almost like wrote itself, and I jotted down, the stuff that I remembered, and I remember I said, oh my God, wait a minute, I got to go back. I had to go back to my tent to get something to write, and then I went back to the rock again. I said, wow, this must be a magical rock, and jotting down just the basics of it. And then what usually happens is just I'm gonna give it like a food analogy here, like when you make something out of a cookbook, the chef is reading from the cookbook to give him a general idea, and then he sort of does it on its own. So it's like the same thing. Like whoever wrote the cookbook will read from the cookbook, and then the chefs will come in and they'll add the meat and potatoes. Somebody put in the dessert, string beans here and there, and then voila, there's your entree. It's done. So we approach it like that, and because we all have a good say, and everyone's an expertise in their own artist's way, and we all listen to one another. It's not really a dictatorship here, and because we're in it to have fun. No one likes to be really told like what to do. You must do this or do nothing else. No, we're not like that. So you're hearing the accumulation of guys getting together and jamming it out, tweaking things here and there into the studio, and if there's, then you of course you play it, you jam on it, and then when it's done, then you record it, and voila, next song.
I'll tell you what, John, let's what do you say we jump into the time machine right now, because this is Thursday, but you and myself and everybody else here, it's Sunday, Labor Day, and for all of those out there, man, on the riverside, camping out, having a wonderful Labor Day weekend, man, what do you want to play on, man?
Oh, Down by the Riverside.
Let's do it. You wrote it.
Down by the river, the Mississippi River dry, there lives a boy who rides boats that pass at night, and he hears the sounds of engines, sounds that passing by. Down by the riverside, steamboats passing by. Whoa, down by the riverside. Whoa, down by the riverside. Whoa, down by the riverside. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Down by the riverside, yeah. Now across the sea of dreams lives a girl who sees a boy that is lonely, crying out for you and me. So she sits by the water, singing, steamboat, come to me. Oh, steamboat, come to me. Steamboat, come to me. Whoa, down by the riverside. Whoa, down by the riverside. Whoa, down by the riverside. Yeah, 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 yeah. Down by the riverside. Come on! Now the boy sees the girl sitting on the other side, and he waits for the chance to catch her eye, down where his dreams lie, down by the riverside, yeah! Whoa, down by the riverside. Whoa, down by the riverside. Whoa, down by the riverside. Yeah, 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 yeah. Down by the riverside, yeah.
Your tweets are up there going, oh, soon to be announced. It's just over and over. You got so many fans out there, man, tweeting.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we engage with them, and hopefully, when we know, we have enough time, we'll definitely. When you know the time, the air time, you let us know, and we'll start tweeting it out. Our fan clubs pick up on it, and they retweet everything that we do. They love to do that, and on it goes. I mean, that's social media, and yeah, you let us know, and we'll definitely get it out.
Yeah, I tell you what, a lot of it, from the Latin origin, and man, that's so cool because that's the beauty about music, man. It brings us all together. There's no hate, there's no ill will. It's just, man, you can change the world with music, man, one song at a time, man. And
yeah,
there's too much hate and too much bullshit, and just
if your listeners go to Reverb Nation, which is sort of like the band's calling card page, reverbnation.com, King's Harem, you could read about us and see and read up on how we want to break the barriers of different
social classes.
Yeah, thank you.
And also not just so much social, but it's a racial thing, man. And there's too much, I'll be honest with you, straight from the White House itself. I mean, and I'm going to go as far as to say on Inside the Disc, it's people like the Reverend Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton that keep the hatred going because they wouldn't have anything to do or any way to make money if they didn't. That's
true.
Because that alone, we have done very well.
Yeah, there's in music, there is no raciality going on. I mean, I play with some really great jazz musicians, rock musicians, from Hispanics, African Americans. We're listening to each other. I'm listening to what he's playing. I'm not looking at his skin. I couldn't give two craps on what his skin is, man. Because when I hear somebody play, it's like, oh my God, I got to play with this guy. I got to find out how he did that. I mean, I used to listen to Django Reinhardt, which was a big Louisiana type of guy. He was an African American in the 30s and 40s. What a guitar player this guy was. I listened to all the greats. I didn't care what color skin there is, And let's put it this way. This is going to sum it up. Jimi Hendrix. Okay, you got my point now.
Well, this is so ironic because I came across some albums tonight, and I got to pick a few, and I picked an album. It's in great shape. It's hey, you remember the Whiskey A Go Go?
Oh, sure.
You've heard of
right
it?
There.
Otis Redding live at the Whiskey A Go Go. Otis Redding, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's cool.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, music is music, man, and that's the beauty in music. Is it doesn't matter black, white, brown, red, yellow, green. I've had a few of those Martians stop by when I, a little too much Quavo, but man, it's all cool, man. And hey.
Well, I just want to say I have to go right now.
Well, that's cool.
And
I have to go too, man. But
I've been holding it in for this long. I've been holding it in. I gotta go.
I gotta go, man. But keep up the musical Snickers. Throw us a snack every once in a while, man. So
on behalf of Jerry, who just got dropped on the call, we want to say thank you, and of course everyone in the band, Ruben, from Ruben to Johnny Orth, our drummer. I'm the guitar player, John Chrissy. Jerry Capri is the bass player. Our keyboardist out in California, John Seaplett. Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll hear some. We'll be back with you soon for some more new stuff coming off our EP.
Okay, well, let's send them a song, man, as we leave. Depart.